Much for coming. Vancouver Bandits 2024 training camp. As I suggested, we're going to be talking to a number of the players today to learn more about the entire roster. Super excited about this group. Of course, our 6th season of Canadian Elite Basketball League Professional Basketball, our 3rd here at Langley Events Centre. We're looking at some great, highly attended games coming up. So today's an opportunity to learn more about each player's backstory. We have some players from BC, a number of experienced Canadian pros, some overseas and American players as well. But without further ado, what we're going to do is I'm going to moderate. I'll ask a question to each wave as they come up. I'll open it up to the floor. I'll point to you individually. You can ask your question, and we'll keep going from there. But first and foremost, introductions. We have our co-owner, Mr. Bryan Slusarchuk, and then our head coach and general manager, Julius. Kyle's been part of the organization since 2020. We had a championship finals berth in 2020. We've made the playoffs in each consecutive season since then. So everyone's really excited. Home opener this upcoming Thursday, May 23rd against Montreal. But I'll pass it over to Bryan. And Bryan, share us your thoughts and excitement for the upcoming season.
Great, thanks, Andrew. So on behalf of both Kevin Dollywall and myself, Kevin, of course, is the co-owner of the team. We're just incredibly excited about this upcoming year. I think that people that attend the games will see an elevated level building off of last year's performance on and off court. We've made some great improvements within the arena. It's going to be a lot of fun. And as all of you know, coming to a Bandits game, of course, basketball is the central component of that event, but it's more than just basketball. It's the music, the food and beverage, the dance team, and all of that is leveling up even further from last season. On court, we're just incredibly excited, and I think that in the off season, Kevin and I and the rest of the organization have shown our commitment to attempting to build a championship team, and that's the goal from day one. That's the goal of everybody in the organization, from the players, the ownership group, Kyle and his team, the front office. So we know that we're going to have a lot of sellouts, excitement, loud fans. We think we have the best fans in the CEBL. And on court this year, I think you'll see we've built a team that can contend and will play up-tempo, exciting basketball every night. So we thank everybody in the media for their support. And last year was a lot of fun. This year, leveling up in every way. And I think across the CEBL this year, what we've seen in the off-season is the Vancouver Bandits have gotten a lot better, but so has everybody else. There have been some incredible signings across the league, a lot of new exciting players in the league that haven't played here before, a lot of returning veterans. And within the league, you have past and future NBA players, guys that have competed at the highest levels of the NBA G League, internationally, FIBA basketball, guys that have played at top universities and colleges, Div 1, NCAA, Canadian universities. The talent throughout the league is just exceptional, and it's going to be a lot of fun for basketball fans and fans that want to come out and just have a really great, entertaining event. So with that, I'll pass it on to Kyle for his thoughts, because what he has to say about the team this year is a lot more important than me.
Thanks, Bryan. I don't know about that, because I don't think we would be here if it wasn't for our ownership. I'm super excited this year. As Andrew mentioned, this is my 5th year with the team, but this is the first year that I've been able to really commit full time to the team in the off season. This time last year I was just arriving from a coaching job in Taiwan, and I typically built the roster and the team remotely from overseas. Also, last year was our first season with private ownership, and I think we've all grown together. We had a lot of exciting meetings during this off season about how we could improve everything on and off the court, as Bryan mentioned, and I really think we've done that. I'm super excited about this group because this is really the first season that I've truly been able to really spend a lot of time getting to know our players, prior to them arriving. We have a great core returning, and then obviously a lot of new faces. Over the past little while, I've been able to spend some time, developing our local players, our youth sports players, and that to me is the most exciting aspect of this opportunity, because those are the guys that are going to be here the longest. Those are the guys that genuinely affect local basketball in BC, Canadian University locally, and so we're super excited. I truly feel a sense of growth and development and even belonging personally now that I've been in BC now for almost a year. I've been able to visit over 40 high schools and really tell people what we're about, help coaches locally grow the game in their particular cities or communities. So I feel a genuine sense of belonging this year. When it comes to our roster, last year we tried to play a particular style, and I thought that we were exceptionally close to being really, really good. This year I feel like we're going to play a lot more up-tempo, a lot more free. We're going to use our talented guards to get the play moving, to get the ball moving. Nick will be back inside along with James Karnick, so I think we have two of the strongest, nastiest players in the league that we can build with and grow with this summer. I'm super excited. There's been a lot of time and energy put into this particular group. I feel great cohesion already. Unfortunately, the team that we built is really good, so when you have really good players, some of them are still in Europe right now, finishing their seasons and in the playoffs as we speak, so we are adapting to that. But I think what's really cool about that is early in our season, and especially in our training camp, a lot of young players are getting tremendous opportunity. So with everything that we've, as Bryan mentioned, leveled up on, I think we have also with the roster, and I think we're all excited to get into this second year working together with our ownership and the front office in general.
All right, thanks Bryan and Kyle. Now I'm going to open it up to the floor, and then I'll hand the mic respectively if you have a question directed for someone. So if you don't mind, as you ask a question, let us know who it's directed to, whether it's both Bryan and Kyle, or vice versa, one or the other. So, to the floor, questions?
Bryan, what was it about the team that you wanted to get involved with? What was your reasoning other than we've got a huge basketball program?
Sure. Well, it's a great question, and what attracted Kevin and I both to the team originally was the impact the team was having in the community and in the basketball ecosystem in BC. Prior to becoming involved as owners, Kevin and I were both season ticket holders. We were both sponsors of various community programs, largely centered on youth basketball. And we thought that we could accelerate and help put fuel on that fire of the great work the Bandits were already doing. And I think that if we can build over time a very consistently competitive team on the court, we can influence the basketball community in BC in big ways. And for us, that is all about making basketball, which is already the most accessible, inclusive sport out there, even more accessible, more inclusive for kids, so that we can start building that pipeline and continue to see BC produce better and better basketball talent. So it was all about the community and what the Bandits as an organization were doing throughout BC in that basketball ecosystem.
Next question.
This question's for Kyle. So when putting this group of players together, was there a specific area you wanted to focus on?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, I think if you study the league and you see kind of what impacted winning in target time over the last couple of years, dynamic guards, speed, athleticism, we definitely wanted to add to that. I think a big thing was bringing players like Diego back, investing in guys that we see being with us for a long time, and then obviously how do we mesh that? How do we put that together with players like Nick and for example, James Karnick, right? Because we feel like those guys they create an advantage. Everybody has to double team Nick. So wanted to try and build on the success that we did have last year, per possession, and then add some athleticism, add some speed, add some quickness to that. I think in target time, you need players that can really generate and create advantages one-on-one. And with guys like Kobe McEwen and Zach Copeland coming, using, again, guys like Dwayne Notice, who were really big in target time last year. I think it every year you have a puzzle and you try and put the pieces together. Last year we really wanted to play big and try and take advantage of that. And as I said, we were close to being really effective. This year I think we want to kind of blend the two, the athleticism, speed, playing a little bit more free with the size that we're returning. Yeah.
Next question.
Training camp is pretty quick. It's a pretty quick summer. How do you get these guys going so fast and implement a new system that quick?
I think it's really difficult. Like, we're still missing 6 players, from our 10-man roster. They're all literally playing or traveling as we speak right now, coming actually this weekend. So we'll have less than, I think, 72 hours before that first game with our whole group. So I think the answer to that question is character. Just good guys, great human beings that just want to buy in, that understand it's going to be rocky at first. And I think we know that as an organization, missing so many guys at the moment, but then bringing in good young players. And we were just talking about it before practice. Look at the New York Knicks, right? The Knicks are winning right now, missing 3 starters, and they're winning major playoff games because it's a next man up mentality, and that's what we're really trying to create here. We're working really hard in practice right now. Guys are in great shape. Guys are really picking up the system. The guys that are returning, most of the guys returning know me, know our system. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's never perfect in this league, but I think the true answer is character. Just good guys that want to be here and are excited about being here. Yeah, I think this team is, we wanted to be really tough last year, and I think I probably overcoached that group a little bit last year, X and O wise, trying to play a certain style. I think this year the idea is to let these guys be a little bit more free, let them be themselves a little bit more. And yeah, so we did go out and bring guys that I feel are nasty, want to get nasty, can get nasty. We know in this league the more physical team wins. We know, JJ, that if you hit first in this league, good things will happen. So yeah, that's the idea. I feel like we got some dogs here. I feel like we got some toughness. Guys I can feel that they really want to be here. I've really enjoyed working with them to this point. So yeah, hit first, let these guys be themselves, and I feel like we've recruited a tough group, and so that should turn out that way. Yeah.
Question for Kyle. Last year you had the luxury of going in the Final Four. This year you have to earn your way there. So how does that change your mindset?
I like this way better. I think last year that was a gift and a curse. There was lots of talk in the locker room about, don't worry, we're good. We're already playing in the finals. That's not how I personally want to approach the day, and it was really difficult to kind of get that taste out of your mouth during the season last year. I think guys are smart. They know they're in the finals. Games aren't as important. And if you look at our trajectory last year, we played really, really well towards the end of the year, and I think that's when guys really got locked in. We feel like we have a group right now that's locked in right from the start, that wants to be locked in from the start. From a coaching standpoint, I think the urgency is better, not knowing that you have to earn your way there. So I don't really wish that on any coach, knowing that you're already in the finals. I think it's much better to have to get up every day, and really truly earn them.
Any other questions? Bryan, Kyle? Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Bryan and Kyle. Now going to invite up for the next round of interviews. We got Glenn Yang and Tajay Moore. So for those who are new to Tajay Moore or Glenn Yang, you guys can get the 2 seats in the middle. Glenn played at Mount Royal University, MRU. Originally born in Burnaby, moved at age of 5, Glenn, I believe. 5, both 5. And grew up in Calgary, played around the world. This past year in Asia, of course, also a member of the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Did hit a game winner against us last year. We're going to forget about it. So Glenn is a CEBL vet. And then we have Tajay Moore. Tajay Moore from South Haven. Yeah, South Haven. Played at Cal State Bakersfield for 4 years. 5 at Cal State. Came up for the Vancouver Showcase at the Convention Center, I believe.